Hello and welcome to Good Vibes Only. You're here today with Christian. Our vision is to normalize speaking up, reaching out, and asking for help with the values, authenticity, compassion, and connectedness. Just like to say a huge thank you for tuning in today. I'm looking forward to having you with us. Alright, so today we're doing things a little bit differently, and I'll just explain why real quick. So, today I was out for a run listening to a podcast by a guy named Rangi Mita from Wellington. Basically, he's just a basketball player who's been through some hardships in the last year or so, and he's gone through this journey of spirituality and growth and everything like that. And he's got this podcast called Yarns with Mans. And on this podcast, while I was running, he was talking about how he wanted to change up how he was doing podcasts this year. And so, as I was running, I had this epiphany, and it was basically instead of needlessly struggling or, creating struggles within my life like I have been doing for the last week or so, take action. So, I had the opportunity right there and then to just change up how we're doing things, and I decided to do so. So, I'm going to encourage Ethan and Tim to do the same thing whenever they have a spare moment or opportunity to just do some recording, to do it and get that out there, because realistically we started this movement with a purpose, and it was to spread a message and to get the word out there, to help people and share all the cool stuff that we've been learning along the way. And I think this is a perfect opportunity to do that. The second epiphany that I had while running was, why do we have to conform to what podcasts and everything look like? Usually, it's someone interviewing someone or someone on the other side of a table talking about their day to day. And even though that's awesome, and I'd love to keep doing that, it's not the only way that we can do it. And the fact that we all, research this stuff and learn new skills and things along the way, it's a perfect opportunity to just share that stuff with you guys. So, yeah, thing I love about Good Vibes Only is that it's evolving and growing all the time, and we can change things up how we want. So, yeah, I'm just really excited to change it up and see how things go. Hopefully, you guys see value in it, and yeah, really excited to see where it goes. So today I'm just going to do a quick little rant, I guess, or chat about something that I came across today called the power of now. Yeah, really excited to share this with you guys, and yeah, just see how you like it. Yeah, looking forward to it, and hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have. Thanks for tuning in again, and looking forward to it. Alright, so I'm gonna make an attempt to, just chat through a learning that I made today. I've got my little journal here and my phone. So if I'm looking at that, it's just because I've taken notes when I've been watching this little podcast slash reading up on this new thing that I've learned. So basically, the thing I want to talk about is the idea of the power of now. Basically, this is a book by a man named Eckhart Tolle. And for me, it was really, really profound, just sitting there and realizing, holy shit, this is so true. So I really encourage any of you to go out there, purchase this book, or I'll put a link to a video in the chat on YouTube that you guys can go out and have a look at as well. So basically, I'll just give a little intro to the first probably 3 ideas that are touched on in the book. It's the first one is, you are not your thoughts. The second is, the present moment is all we ever have. And then the third is, surrender to the now and accept what is. So basically, the first idea of you are not your thoughts, this really struck home with me, because I was just acknowledging my thoughts too often. So I would sit in my thoughts and I would accept my thoughts for fact, when in reality, we probably all know this, our brain lies to us so often. And I can't I can't say that enough. I don't know how many times I've told myself negative things. I've heard people tell me that they've been telling themselves negative things, and we really think it's true. I mean, yeah, it's just a crazy thought, right? That we can actually step back and be a conscious observer of our thoughts and shape and mold what these thoughts do to us. I think that's a crazy thought. To think some people out there are free. They're free of their thoughts and they can step back from them and let them flow without letting them affect them. I think that's a crazy thought, to be honest. So basically, yeah, the little thing that I'm looking at here is it says, can you be free of your mind whenever you want to? Have you found the off button? So I want everyone, whether you do this or not, I'm going to be honest, you're probably not going to do this, but if you're watching, do this. Take a moment to just step back from your thoughts. Acknowledge them, listen to them, but don't react to them. So take a moment to step back from your thoughts, acknowledge them, and step back from them. We are constantly complaining, speculating, living in the past, living in the future. We're constantly judging each and every thought that we have. But if we can observe our thoughts, are our thoughts really us? Wild, right? So if you can acknowledge your thoughts, are your thoughts really you? If you can sit there and observe your thoughts, are your thoughts you? It's a buzzy concept, right? So if you're acknowledging your thoughts, you're watching your thoughts, you're sitting and you're thinking about your thoughts, you're at a higher level of consciousness in that moment. If you're doing that, you're at a higher level of consciousness. Okay, just bear in mind, guys, I'm not an expert on this shit. I just find it buzzy, alright? And I'm sharing it with you guys because I see the value in it. I realize that there is a value in acknowledging the present moment, because if we can live in the present, we no longer are controlled by our past, and we are no longer controlled by our futures. And I just think that's a really profound tool that a lot of us could be using on the day-to-day. So I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying that you should understand every little thing that I'm explaining right now, but I'm imploring you to go out there and research and really understand what I'm talking about, because I find this extremely interesting, and I hope there's people out there that find it the same. So the next part, or the next stage that Eckhart Tolle talks about in his book, is the present moment is all we ever have. And before we touch on that, I just want to read a quote from the book. So basically, he says, "The moment your attention turns to the now, you feel a presence, a stillness, a peace. You no longer depend on the future for fulfillment and satisfaction. You don't look to it for salvation. One day, you may catch yourself smiling at the voice in your head as you would smile at the antics of a child. This means that you no longer take the content of your mind all that seriously, as your sense of self does not depend on it. Wow. Okay, so this idea that the present moment is all we ever have. So we're incessantly or continuously planning, thinking for the future. And yes, that is a necessity in this day and age, but it's not all we should ever think about. I want everyone to again stop, take a moment to listen to your mind. What thoughts are going through your mind? Are there consistent thoughts, things that you always come back to? Because often when I do this, I realize there's a lot of bullshit that goes through my mind, and a lot of it is not very constructive or gonna help me in any way. So it's in effect superfluous, irrelevant, stupid. And if you're sitting there getting annoyed by this or saying, nah, my thoughts are always relevant. I have mean thoughts. I'm the man. Then that's your ego talking. And you should do a little bit of research into that. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the future. Whenever we're living in the future, we're looking for fulfillment from things that we haven't had fulfilled in the past. Whenever we're in the past, we're creating a story of what our past was. And when we're living in the now, we have this sense of freedom. We have this freedom that is powerful because ultimately, where do we have power? In the past? Mm-mm. In the future? Mm-mm. The only thing we have control over is now. So I want to just touch on another quote from the book as well. So usually the future is a replica of the past. Superficial changes are possible, but real transformations are rare and depend upon whether you can overcome present enough. What the fuck? I'm gonna restart that. Right. Usually the future is a replica of the past. Superficial changes are possible, but real transformation is rare and depends upon whether you can become present enough to dissolve the past by accessing the power of now. If you set yourself a goal and work toward it, you are using clock time. You are aware of where you want to be, but you honor and give your fullest attention to the step that you are taking at this moment. So although we can plan and we can think ahead to the future, we still need to be present in our next step, because the only thing we have control over is what we're doing right now. So today when I was stressing and, creating a story about how I'm never going to fulfill all these things that I want to do, I'm never going to start a movement, I'm never going to be helping people like I want to help people, and I was lying on the deck after doing my breath work, and I realized, you know what? The only thing I have control over is right now. And that was powerful to me. That got me up. That got me in here. That got me setting up for the podcast. And that got me writing things down that I wanted to talk about. So I think that in itself is such a powerful thing. Just realizing that we can think, we can plan, we can do all these things to try and equip ourselves for the future, but the only thing we have control over is the present moment, the right now, the thing that's sitting in front of us. And so I encourage each and every single one of you right now to think about those things that are stressing you out, that you've been planning to do, that you want to do, but you haven't done. What's your next step? What's the thing sitting right in front of you that you can do right now that'll help you to get closer to that goal? No excuses. Just think about it. What's the thing right now sitting right in front of you that you can do that'll get you closer to your goal? And do it. It's simple. Not everything in life is that simple, I must admit, but there is a step that you can take to get you closer to that goal. Whatever it is, no matter how small, whether it's literally standing up, whether it's having a shower, whether it's putting some socks on, that is getting you closer to that goal, and that is your next step, and that is the next thing that you need to do, so do it. Damn, I'm on some other shit today. I think it's probably because I've been locked up for a little bit and I'm just ready to, talk to heaps of people. But anyway, the next part that I wanted to talk about is this idea of surrendering to the now. So surrender to the now and accept what is. So a lot of people will listen to that and assume that that means to passively stand back and just be like, sweet, accept whatever happens right in front of me. But this gives you the power to surrender to the current moment, accept, acknowledge, inquire, or gain insight into the moment to understand what is happening in front of you, and then make a decision based on that inquiry as to what the next step is. So it's, in essence, a lot more powerful than just sitting there and acknowledging it and letting the moment pass. So, yeah, usually people will think it's passively putting up with the situation that you find yourself in, doing nothing about it. But it doesn't mean this. It means to cease making plans or initiating positive action. That's not what it means, actually. I misread the quote. Surrender is yielding rather than opposing the flow of life. The only place where you can experience the flow of life is the now. So to surrender it, to accept the present moment unconditionally and without reservation. Damn, son. Yeah, so basically this last part is just about accepting and not resisting, because within the resistance we create pain. And with creating pain, with resisting, we're creating pain for ourselves. We're creating something that isn't essentially real. We're resisting the flow of life, what is meant to be happening. We're fighting against something that isn't meant to be fought against. It's a moment that will pass, and we will graduate into the next moment. Yeah, this stuff is buzzy to me. I hope it's buzzy to you, and I hope you go out there and you do research into it. So, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. So this is the third part. Accept the current moment and act on what is happening in front of you. So acknowledge, inquire, become aware of what is happening, and then act based on what you think is fit and right to do. Yeah, so the next part is just acting not from reaction but from insight. So understanding what is sitting in front of you and what is happening, and then acting based off of that. So not passively sitting back and accepting every single situation and acknowledging that, people have power over you and they're always going to do what they want to do. It's gaining insight, accepting the situation, but acting based off of what you think is right to do. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's been about 15 minutes of me ranting about random stuff. I hope it was somewhat of interest to you and that I've shared something with you, and that you go out there and hopefully purchase this book or do a bit more research and understand the power of now that we all hold in every single moment. It's definitely something that I'm looking to include more in my life moving forward, acknowledging that the past is something that I create as a story for myself. The future is something that I'm trying to gain fulfillment from, but the only thing I have power over it is the now. So yeah, thank you for tuning in today. If you've gotten this far, you are clearly interested in my ramblings, and please let me know in the comments below, or just reach out and send me a message. I'm grateful that you've made it this far. I'm grateful for everyone that has supported our movement so far, and I really want to start creating more content like this, sharing little snippets of gems or gold nuggets that we've found throughout the week or whatever, that hopefully will, shine some light for other people and give help. I'll end this podcast on a little quote. I've got this little motivation app on my phone that just constantly pings quotes at me throughout the day. So I'll finish up on a quote. Keep the faith, hold on, things will get better. It might be stormy now, but it can't rain forever. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in, and look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and enjoy.